I see you in there, bro. I see you. I see you in there, bro. I'll hit you up. Getting some draft and hold knowledge. Sorry, getting lost in draft and hold right now a little bit. Kind of wrapping up the Gladiator year here soon, discussing the last Gladiators of the year. Kind of how to schedule those out. Want to get in the last ones of the year. I like early and late Glads. People are talking about these curves, these representations of the stats that they're seeing on these great new websites where everything is shown visually. And they're looking at the curves. And they're trying to do like, what's that dude? Broke all the rules shown. People try to fit, I think the guy who measured the electron basically tried to fit the weight of the electron to the predicted curve. I think it was shown later, years later, he was selective in picking his data. I don't want to force things to these curves that might not have an appropriate scales. I can't do that. I want to stay with the integers, bro. I'm staying with the integers. I like the curves. All right, let me get back to the real gas of it. It is actually the integers. Okay. Let me close this window down right here. Hide the window. Okay. Let me see what picks have been made in my draft. Back to the real. Let me see now, since I was last in here. This is TDK Moons. The last one I have in is Tyler Stevenson. So let's see who has been picked. Oh, that's the wrong draft. This is the correct draft. I was going to say, what happened? I timed out. I did not time out. I'm on the clock. Okay. Tyler Stevenson, Tanner Scott. Tanner Scott. There goes Tanner Scott. Finally off the board. This room is pushing back these mid-relievers so far. Mid-relievers getting no love here. Or, I won't say mid-reliever. I think Tanner Scott is a top reliever. My scouting shows him as he's on the Dodgers. He can get 100 strikeouts in 80 innings. Well, maybe a little more innings than that, but he's a 100 strikeout reliever. Okay, that's accurate. Here's the guy who was trying to take Ryan Jeffers, Ryan Nelson. He's seen Ryan Nelson, and he went Ryan Jeffers. That R must have reminded him. Dang it. That was the player I wanted. He probably wasn't getting it back to me. You know it when you see him out there sitting on the edge. He's not coming back, but you can dream a little dream, It would have been so nice to have those home runs there. That would have been from the catcher. There's another player I wanted, Luis Arias. It was both these guys I considered taking. Man, should I have taken Jeffers or Arias instead of Carpenter? I don't think so. I think Kerry Carpenter will have a better line than this, and I think they will be trying to get to this. Jeffers will get to this, but be a catcher, might play the same at-bats consideration. Luis Arias is not going to have this production, so he will have the runs and everything, but he's not, I think, it's a tough one. Those are tough ones. So would you go Kerry Carpenter, Ryan Jeffers, or Luis Arias? And they're all pretty much even on position need. That's a tough pick. I think I already have some Arias, so I didn't go Arias there. And I think he's going to have a good year, though, to be honest with you. I think he's going to have some ancillary stats where he's going to be like a year where he steals some bases or something happens where he has a huge game off a bad pitcher or something like that, You always feel something like that for that guy. Like, he's just, because he hits the ball so much that he's just on the verge of just knocking that Carlos Narvaez. Is that the pick right before me? Damn it, that is the pick right before me. That was the other catcher I would have taken. You got him right before me? No way. Would have been smart to go catcher there. Dang. There goes Carlos Narvaez. I would have reached for him too. That would have been a reach. But I would have done it. Oh man. Okay. That's sucky. So the players I need are catcher, corner infielder, mid infielder, 3 pitchers. And the kind of pitchers I need can be, I can go 3 relievers, I could go 2 reliever and starters. I don't need to do anything right here, is why I could have taken the catcher. I should. Why is Shane McClanahan not been picked? First thing I could do is remove any mention of any outfielders from this sorting, because I cannot draft an outfielder. They will not, people who is just an outfielder will not fit on my team. You have to be something besides an outfielder. And a UT, you're just a UT, you will not fit on my team either. So Marcell Ozuna is also out. Okay, those are all the players that I'm eligible to pick. So I need a corner infielder and a mid infielder. That's why that Luis Arias tilts me, because that would have been the perfect CI there. 269, 270, 269, 270. Simeon is probably the right pick here. Why did you take Marcus Simeon? Down end of the season. That's why it's showing not to take him. Do some outside diligence here on Marcus Simeon. Might be necessary, because he's old. How old is it saying he is? 35. This will have to be good for me to want to take a 35-year-old. No offense or nothing, but 35-year-old New York Met. Does he play every day though? A Steamer has him for more at-bats than Fangraphs. That's rare. That is rare. The Steamer has him for more at-bats than Fangraphs. What happened with the season to give him this bad thirds here? Here's one of my identifiers, the thirds. I'm showing is only 19% production in that last third. Splits. Second half. Games. Who's games? Games. It's probably going to change out there in New York, though. Who is the Mets DA? They're everywhere. Brett Batty's been devalued because Simeon is there. Francisco Lavoie, Vientos, Acuna. What did they went and get Simeon for? He's probably the best player left there. Don't need pitcher. These relievers are all the same. Just get the best value there. So you don't need to do that. Did he not play because he was hurt? Why did he not play? What's the information? Rangers are trading Simeon in exchange for outfielder Brandon Nemeth. So they traded a decent amount for him. What is that about? Broken foot, although those look rather than chronic age related. That's encouraging. He was the last month with a broken foot. Is that why he's fallen? Can you risk it? Almost rather just get this reliever right here. I just put that 10-10 season in the bank. 10-10 season is always a winner. 10-10 season wins your team every year, that I would have to come down here to these kind of mid-infielders. My next pick will be 269, 270. There's a player here that I really want to draft. I really want to try my hand at doing this thing. There's a player here I really want to draft. Man, oh man. What's his name? Here he is right here. Where has he been at recently? Let's go. Gladiator. All teams from this last week until just this last week. Submitted. Wow, last week. Where is this guy? It's right where I have him. Right where I have him. He's been drafted in all the drafts in the last week. This would be my hitters. Check a couple other things over here. Find this. Yeah, they're right there with each other. Yeah, this is the right place here. These are the right place. And then you get out there. Who do you get? That's the player you want to put at mid-infield anyway. Oh man, this is like you can mess your whole team up if you do this wrong. And then your catcher will just be a consolation catcher. That's fine. You could take any Connor Wong. You take Connor Wong. Consolation catcher. Who is a consolation catcher in the last week here? Let me just make sure this is a doable man. Consolation catcher is Dalton Rushing, Los Angeles Dodger. That's a catcher who can't hurt you. He's only going to play if he's hitting. Kiro. We are not down here to Bo Naylor. Bo Naylor's still available. Bo Naylor is draft. No, Bo Naylor is still available. 303. This is a tough pick because these players are going to evaporate. These relievers are going to be gone. People need to pick 12 relievers. Did they pick relievers on the comeback? No. If I let relievers get away now, they're going to be gone. They might even be gone if I let them go into the pocket here. You need 1,200 strikeouts, 1,100 innings. I'm going to need 13 more wins. I'm going to try to have to get at the right pick here. Do I even have a share yet? If I don't have a share, I'm for sure picking him right now. Where's my share indicator? I do have a share. I pay 262. I'll pay 269 right now. This is gonna play. Drafted a reliever. Hey, OG. I consider the most OG player to be drafting right now. He is on the clock. And you got me, dude. I broke. I added Brian Abreu. I like Brian Abreu, and I'm not convinced about that clown out there. Still a clown show, Josh Hader. Still always be a clown show to me, dude. So that's the disrespect you're gonna get. Disrespect you're gonna get is putting Brian Abreu on my team, hoping for a 10-10 out of Brian Abreu. That was probably not smart, but I did it. I draft a 10-10 guy. I do that. I pick a guy. I say, this is my 10-10 guy. I'm calling falling into another guy that I think is a 10-10 guy. All right. Let's take a look now. Let's take a look. It's tough to pass on Simeon there, but the broken foot. I dropped, when I was a kid, I dropped a big old pipe fitting on the top of my foot. And as soon as I read that, I could feel my foot, how flat my right foot is still to this day. So, Marcus Simeon was close to my age. Got to Bray you there. That's a good pick. This guy went. He's got a level hobby and Narvaez there to get back into that. Let's see what our rankings are now. I am in third. Who usurped me? Team 9. Team 9 usurped me. Probably fair. Not that great. Let's look at Team 9 though. Who they have. What they're going to have to do to get back with the players they're going to have to draft. Okay, they're going to have to 1, 2, 3, 4. They need 3 pitchers, and they need. That's it. They can draft best possible. 9, you put yourself in a great position to draft best possible. And actually, wow, what was your plan? You got this value right here. I don't know about this value. Where you're pitching at? You took some closers. You took Cade Smith and Will Vest, Framber Valdez. You're getting value on these. What's your big value? 115. Yeah, you're getting value 9. These are not players I like, but I see why you're picking them. That's Turang, Genie. These are all Brandon Nimmo. This is not going to work out like this. I'm not even going to comment on that. I think that's a good pick, but I don't think Dylan Dingler had a hot at his end of the year. Anyway, good pick, good team 9. What team am I? I'm 2. Let's see. Team 2. I'm going to be in total rank. What's my degraded rank, though? Degraded rank 2. Average rank 2. See, that's what matters at this point. All right, let's see. Cooper Smith. The OG is not on the clock, so yeah.